Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Here we are on episode 34, and I'm going to have a conversation with some of the voices of the garage on King Street in Martinsburg, West Virginia. I have two incredible guests in studio. I'm going to ask each one of my guests to please take a moment and introduce themselves and tell our audience what you guys do at the garage. I'll pitch to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Casey. I'm a 27-year-old photographer here based in West Virginia. Only about 10 minutes or so from the garage, which is super nice. But yeah, I serve a lot of the DMV area, I'd say, for my work. I do a ton of weddings. I travel a lot. I'm a destination photographer. But I also own another venue. We've had me and my partner Mariah, who couldn't make it today. We have another venue we started another venue in Hagerstown and then have kind of relocated here to Martinsburg now. But yeah, I started photography when I was in as young as middle school, just kind of as a hobby. I love anything artistic, and it just kind of grew from there. But yeah, just having a lot of fun with that. Mariah and I, our role here at the garage, is just kind of to bring in, like, I would call ourselves the event coordinators there. Just our goal is just to kind of bring in more business and partner with all of the food vendors there. Just doing fun things like we hosted a brunch recently with the bakery there, the Miner's Daughter. We're about to host a pasta night with Pasta Pit Stop here soon, which is super exciting. So just kind of things like that. Every year we also do, our biggest hit is the Donuts with Santa event. So we're going to kind of host that there and bring people in. So just a lot of fun partnering up with these vendors in the garage on King and just kind of bring in community in general. I think the last time we had the Donuts with Santa event last year, it had brought in over 200 people. So we're really excited to just bring more attention to the garage.
No, I think that's incredible. And my next guest?
My name is Kate, and I'm currently the bar manager at the garage. I have about 18 years experience bartending. I have my own mobile bartending business right now. We actually had a bar for about 5 years in Tampa, but we lost it to the flood, Hurricane Helene. So my husband took a job in Rockville. We moved to this area, in West Virginia for about 8 months. I kind of was just feeling sorry for myself, missing the bar, missing all the regulars. And then I decided that I needed to, start my life here. So I got a job at a golf course, and that's where I ran into Diego, who's the owner of the garage. And he offered me the position of the manager for the bar. And so for the past, I've been running it since September 3rd, kind of getting a feel for it. And a lot of the customers have told me, you need to put a post out there that there's new management.
Yeah.
And
there's the post.
Yeah. And so I did, so that people would know that, that there's fresh ideas coming into the garage, and there's a whole new vibe kind of.
Let me ask on this post, Kate. There's been like a lot of response, a lot of shares.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's the feedback been like since you put up this initial post.
So I get recognized everywhere. It's crazy.
Wow.
Honestly, I've never made a post and gotten that much interaction and that much feedback. But I think it's because everybody wants to see the garage succeed.
Yes.
They really do. And the fact that I asked for feedback, everybody wanted to give it because they want it to succeed. They want to see something there. It's a huge building, and it
Beautiful
needs to.
building.
It's amazing.
It needs to be something,
Yeah.
But there's been so much money put into it,
Yes.
It has to succeed.
It has to.
And I won't, you know what I mean? It's just, we can't let it fail. But some people are saying, oh, it'll be closed by spring. And when people say stuff like that, it just makes me want to work harder to keep it going.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to fail.
Right.
And like right now, it's getting better. We've seen more flow of people ever since I made the post. A lot of new people are coming in.
Good.
And we're doing a lot more events. A lot of people are actually, just kind of volunteering to do entertainment. Like the Hawk, he's going to be performing every Saturday. We have an open mic the second Saturday of every month, karaoke every Sunday night. I've been trying to extend the hours a little bit at the bar because I think that's going to really help with bar business. And just fundraisers. We're doing a food drive on the 20th. And then also I want to do a bar crawl. So I'm putting a flyer together for that for the day before Thanksgiving. I think that would be kind of cool to incorporate all the different bars. So I'm planning on going to the different bars and seeing if they would be willing to kind of participate in that.
No, I think that's a great idea. Nick, let's go ahead up and bring up the post on the Melrose. And Casey, I'm going to ask you to take some time and talk about what you have going on as an event coordinator and why you decided to put your energy into the garage. What made you decide to put your time and attention?
Yeah, so it's actually really funny. So like I said, Mariah and myself, we had a space in Hagerstown, and she's also a photographer. So it kind of functioned as a photography studio and an event space. And again, we had that for a little over 2 years. We're in the process, I should say, of kind of moving out of there. But it went really well. I think that just being photographers who are already kind of have, are pretty well known in the area, it was a little bit easier for us to be like, we're one of the only photography studios in the area. And our long-term goal has always been like wedding venue. So, and just events. But yeah, so it's actually really funny. So like I said, we both are local, and we would always, since the garage opened, we would always drive by and be like, we need, this building's incredible. It's our vibe, very like industrial, modern, bright white, just beautiful. And we were like, we need to just find out who owns this place and pitch him an idea. And that's just how we are. And so yeah, we drove by it one day and we were like, let's just do it. What the worst they can say is no, we're not interested. And we'd be like, okay, on to the next. So one of my good friends from high school, Christian, who works for Diego, I found out he worked for Diego, and I found out Diego owned it. And I said, hey, Christian, you need to get us in touch. Do you think he'd be interested? And he said, actually, I think he would. So, of course, we're jumping up and down. And we're like, keep it cool. So we set up a meeting with them. And, we just made up a whole business proposal and just let Diego know that, hey, we're interested in having events here. We really like this space. There's some stuff going on at our other space, and we feel like, this space has more amenities and just opportunities overall. And just partnering with as many people as we can, because like I said, we love to bring a community or bring the community together. Even just stuff with like bringing families in, because I think a lot of people like target stuff with adults. So like what's really cool is the thing with Donuts with Santa is brings in like stuff for families to do, because they're always like, I'm always looking for stuff to do with my daughter. And, so yeah, we immediately, Diego was like, yeah, this sounds great. I don't know what I'm doing there. And this has always been something we want to do. And he said, I think you guys have the experience, think you'd be perfect for it. So we've been helping him for a bit now. And then Kate comes in, and she's also helping out with these events, and we're all just kind of putting our minds together. And, like she said, I think that the garage, like, there's so much potential, and I think that people need to believe in it, and it is on the rise. So, we don't care. We're gonna work harder. Exactly. So, say what you want, but just keep an eye on it, because we really are working hard, and it's really important to all of us. So absolutely. We're all just putting in our brains and getting creative.
That's perfect for our next week. We have the garage on. Can we have your Facebook page? And that's how I follow you, and that's how I saw both of the posts, about you both. If there's I encourage everyone out there watching the show, everyone in Martinsburg, follow them on Facebook, go in, go to the events, let's talk about, are there any other social media that you guys have for the garage? Is there anything else that you guys want to plug on the garage? And then I thought maybe we would take a little bit of time and explore both of your histories after that.
Yeah, definitely. I would say just our Instagram and our Facebook, which is under the Melrose. We used to be under Cloud Studio and Events. That was our Hagerstown location. And it's all very new that we're kind of moving out. And we actually have something else going on that we're not really allowed to talk too much about. That, it's another space that Diego owns, and where we have some stuff that we're trying to do there. So, that's been going on, and we did just recently make a post kind of just explaining where we're at without giving too much information, even though it's so hard. But yeah, so we have our name as the Melrose just to kind of like separate ourselves and not, refer to us as we're the Garage on King, because we aren't the new management. We don't own any, we are in there as the event coordinators. And again,
can I ask with the name, the Melrose, where did you guys take the name from?
We honestly just thought it was pretty. I mean, we wanted
it.
We just wanted it to be kind of fancy, feminine.
Were you a fan of the show? Was it Melrose Place? Was that the show?
Melrose.
I don't know. I wasn't. I know
That's
there's
an older show, isn't it?
Oh my! I'm dating myself.
That's in the 90s, I think.
Yeah, it was in the 90s. It was
I
a
think
real
so, yeah.
popular. It was
my.
the Melrose Place. It was a real popular show.
Yeah.
I was in film school, and I remember that I thought it was funny, Melrose watch parties. That was real popular in my generation. I was 27 when I went to film school. So
wow. We were under Cloud, and that was because we were, on the higher floor. It was bright white. It just was fitting. But we were like, well, I think that for our new vision, it just needs to be different. And we had, a new brand in mind. Still kind of similar, but we just kind of threw around ideas, and we're just very similar, me and Mariah. So we just thought it was pretty feminine, theory, just fitting. I don't know, just random. Doesn't mean anything,
right?
I love when you said feminine. I thought it was a really great name.
It is. It's classy. I love it.
It's very important to us that we're women-owned businesses.
Right.
We really, that's something we really value.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kate, give a shout out to some of the major personalities that are involved in the garage that you think are doing a really good job with trying to, get this thing to the next logical phase.
Well, Rick and David, they're the new general managers of the garage. Rick is very hands-on. He's always there. He's always. He just kind of manages the overall, the vendors and the runnings of the bar, of the place as a whole. So, and they definitely care about it like it's their own.
Cool.
Rick's been there, maybe David too, but I know for sure Rick's been there since day one.
Yes.
He's always there. And
right.
For being new management, he's doing an incredible job already. So I think we have a great team going right now to, help the garage rise and succeed.
No, I think it's incredible. I hope you guys are successful. I hope things go really well. With that being said, I thought we had also spend a little bit of time and talk about some of the other endeavors that both of you ladies have going on. Casey, let's go ahead and bring up Kate's image of Boozy Bear. And, for an idiot like me, explain to me exactly what mobile bartending is.
Okay, so it's you just go to different events. I've been to house parties, weddings. I do a corporate event every month in DC, and I'll travel up to 2.5 hours for different events.
Now, do you have a whole bar set up?
So what I do, honestly, usually the venues have their own bar.
Okay.
Or they have their own table, and I just come with my tools and my I usually bring garnishes and just all my tools, and that's it. And everything else is usually there. So it's super simple, super fun,
right.
and
you're a bartender for them.
Yes.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
No, all right. And then also, did we get the graphics on the? All right, yeah, let's talk about this. This is another business venture that you have in downtown Martinsburg.
I'm just starting this. So this
Wow.
is something I'm just collecting all my clothes. I haven't even really gotten a Facebook page put together for it or a website, but this is like we did get the building, so we're renting out a building right down the street from the garage. So it's literally in walking distance. It's a 421 Raleigh Street. And I just put out a post to my to the gallery to ask for clothes donations, so I can get it started. It's basically a thrift. It's going to be like a thrift store or a resale store. So we can either accept donations or we're willing to pay for certain clothes and resell them. It wouldn't be like a consignment shop because that's too much paperwork for me. But yeah, I think it's a recession-proof business, I feel like, and it's something that I've always wanted to have is like a thrift. I love thrifting. I think every woman loves thrifting. It's like a big thing that women love to do, and so I think it'd be a cool thing to have. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm there.
Yes.
I'm there.
I'm friends with, her name is Jennifer Stilbert. She has Venus on the Half Shell in Frederick, Maryland. She's had it there for decades, but the same thing, like vintage and elegant fashion.
Yeah.
Everything is about fashion.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah. So no, I wish you well with that.
Thank
I always
you.
love to see,
Yes.
anyone in a downtown business. Martinsburg is changing, I think, very much in a positive way.
Yes.
So,
Agreed.
I
Yes. agree.
It's
Yeah.
evolving for sure.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
It's a tough town, and it's going to take a lot of people that are passionate about it to change it around. Casey, I have your Instagram, so I thought maybe we would pull up your Instagram, and if you wanted to talk to anyone that was interested in actually hiring you as a photographer, where would you send them to look at your work? They got a wedding coming up or something like that.
Yeah, so I would say Instagram is number one. This is something I do mentor sessions. So I actually have a lot of newer photographers and even a little more experienced photographers just come to me. I teach all levels, so they come to me and we meet up. And one thing I tell them is Instagram, in my opinion, is number one. I feel like when you first open up an Instagram page, what you see is like, that's your selling point. So like the first thing people say, they could even, I don't like how this page looks next. But the first thing they see, it's just the way Instagram is. Like on Facebook, I have a Facebook. I always say as many forms of social media you can have and handle because it's a lot. Like TikTok, there's so much. But Facebook is also great because you're targeting a different clientele. A lot of like the older generations don't really get on Instagram. So like a lot of those people find me on Facebook. But the thing with Facebook is right when you go to the page, it doesn't look like that to where there's like all my pictures, my portfolio. It's kind of like you have to scroll and look and which is totally fine. But I would say Instagram's number one. And where I've found I don't want to say easiest because there are other great ways on Facebook, but probably one of the easiest ways to grow just through hashtags and connections and stuff. But on Facebook, it's really cool because there's a lot of Facebook groups for just brides and, how to be a destination photographer. And someone's like, hey, my wedding is this day in DC and this is my budget. And if you fall within that, if you're available, you comment and say, hey, I'd love to. And I have a lot of brides find me through there. So yeah, I always tell them again, I tell my people I teach, be annoying. Be annoying on social media because or else no one's going to know you exist. So post.
Right.
Yeah. So
Engagement.
but
like
definitely Instagram. Yeah.
All right. So as I was telling Kate, like the show itself is labeled under conspiracy theory. We're fairly light on how we kind of deal with that. Most of the time we don't even deal with it. But because we're talking about Martinsburg and we're talking about King Street and we're talking about downtown, there's one story that I've been wanting to dive into for quite some time. I'd kind of promised to do it with a friend, but I don't think that's going to happen. But it's the Danny Casolaro story. Nick, let's go ahead. There's an incredible documentary series on Netflix, and we're going to watch the trailer for that, and then we're going to have a little loose discussion on Danny Casolaro.
Reporter Danny Casolaro was found dead over the weekend in a motel in Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Local authorities quickly ruled his death a suicide. It just didn't sit right. In my mind, I'm thinking they killed him.
The book that Danny was writing, he starts looking into these powerful people and realizes there's something much bigger going on.
These 8 men, they're no longer government officials, but their tentacles can reach into any part of government in almost any country. I've come to call this group the Octopus.
Most of us were convinced that he had been hurt for him covering this story.
If the federal government says, we don't know what you're talking about, it's beyond what a couple of local detectives can do.
It all started with the software promise.
These programs allegedly allowed the CIA to spy on the intelligence agencies that bought it.
The two of them transferred in excess of $40 million.
This money was used to buy off.
It was a disturbing conspiracy.
A lot of people that were on it are dead.
All 3 of them had been shot in the head. We knew who was involved. No one was ever brought to justice.
We found the body. There was a wire running from around his neck to his ankles.
There's just too many people dead in this case.
This former NSA guy says, I don't know how you heard that name, but you can get killed just knowing that name.
Can you turn the camera off? I told him not to talk to certain people, not to raise certain issues.
Danny became obsessed with this story. You have the same curiosity that Danny had.
If you think for a minute that you're going to go expose somebody, you're going to get yourself killed.
American Conspiracy, and it starts here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Casey, had you ever heard of the Casolaro story before? No. I really suggest watching the Netflix documentary. It's top notch.
I'm a big documentary girl, and the fact that I didn't know that like so local, that's wow.
At the Holiday Inn. What's the Holiday Inn?
Oh my
now?
God!
Yeah,
Wow,
it's
crazy.
Kate, had you heard the story? Were you familiar with the story?
Not before that. But I started watching it. I think I'm like halfway through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I binge watched it in Florida.
Yes.
In Florida. I first heard the story when it happened. I just finished at Shepherd. I was living in Frederick, and I followed it. And the Unsolved Mysteries did a big story on it. I remember watching that. Then I didn't hear about it, and I remember maybe 10 years later, I've been into the whole conspiracy theories for a long time. For my generation, it was AM radios, but I came across his name in a book, and I remember highlighting it and then not hearing it, and then 30 years later this comes out. So he was onto something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I would love to do a little bit more a deep dive on the documentary series. So, we were in talks with the director when the channel was first started out. Someone had given us his phone number, and then I think he figured out we were just starting out. Was like, fuck those guys.
Really?
Yeah.
No, boo.
No, but no. I really appreciate you girls coming on the show and sharing what you guys are doing with the garage. Casey, I would love to pick up some conversations with you on photography. And the one I would love to do, one of my favorite photographers from my youth was a guy named Robert Mapplethorpe.
Okay.
You know who he is?
I think so. Sounds familiar. I'm sure if I saw his work, I'd be like, okay, yeah.
I would love to, because I thought about this one with you. I was thinking, okay, Warhol, of course, because every artist tells you they hate fashion, but that's a lie. That's even Bob Dylan, the ones that hate fashion love fashion.
Yeah.
You hate it so much you love it.
Yeah.
But I thought, every artist can't deny the power of fashion, But I love Andy Warhol, and Andy Warhol and fashion are synonymous.
100%.
Synonymous.
100%.
How you style a film, and I was also thinking of the film Blade Runner, because it's like a famous fashion designer that does all the costumes for Blade Runner. So
Yeah.
no, I wish you a lot of success with your photography,
Thank you so
with
much.
all your artistic endeavors. 27, that's young. It's it's a great time as an artist. So.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Kate, same thing. I wish you well with all of your endeavors.
Thank you.
I hope you guys do great at the garage, and this has been a real pleasure.
Yes, thank you
So-
for having
Agreed.
us.
We've had a great time. Thank
Yes.
you so
this-
much.
Do this again. Nick, if you want, you can go ahead and fade us to black.